Yo, yo, what is up, Queen? What's up, Queen? I wasn't sure whenever you're going to be able to be here this morning. What's up, everybody? Tabo, what's up, buddy? What's going on, guys? I hope everybody had a great weekend. Working for the next one, right? Working for the next one. Short stream yesterday. Short stream, but I had an amazing day. I was absolutely spoiled yesterday. Absolutely good, Tabo. I'm glad, buddy. I'm glad. I'm fantastic, man. I'm fantastic. Super fat and rested. You know, we went and hung out at the pool for a little bit yesterday as a family, and then basically just chilled out and watched movies and stuff. And my family filled me full of food and gave me Father's Day presents and stuff like that. I got some more Java lava, you know, so we're rocking the Java lava in the coffee today, and I'll show you here. I'll switch over real quick. I'll show you guys the burger that my wife made me yesterday. If you haven't seen the food channel yet, let me show you guys this real quick. Oh, hey, thank you. Yeah, I mean, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I put out a bit of a tweet yesterday, you know, trying to say happy Father's Day to all the dads, and you know, again, you know, I was very fortunate. I have an amazing dad and father-in-law in my life, and I still have a really cool grandpa left in my life, and I don't get to see him. I haven't gotten to see him for a very long time, but he's an amazing dude, and not everybody has that in their life, so that's not lost on me, and I appreciate that. And you know, so it's one of those days where it makes you kind of take a look at appreciating what you have. You know, a cat day, dude. I'm sure there's cat day. Let's look it up. I'm sure there's cat day. Let me show you guys what my wife made me yesterday, real quick. Check this out. Check this out. Yeah. Seeing this? You see that? That's the burger my wife made me yesterday. Yeah, dude. I got surprised with this. So, is it August the 8th? Yeah, it's not too far away. Yeah, dude, she really is. Yeah, and my wife's amazing. I mean, I try to express that sentiment quite often, how fortunate I am to have such an amazing person in my life, and not just because she keeps me fat and doesn't mind that I'm getting fat. At least she says she doesn't mind. Um, you know, but she just truly is an amazing person. She's very caring and understanding and creative and just an all around, you know, funny, intelligent, truly amazing person. And I'm very, very fortunate to have her in my life. I really am. She spoils the crap out of me, if you couldn't tell. I knew that she was planning on making me something, but I didn't know what it was, and I wasn't trying to like figure it out, you know. And so basically, what happened was a couple of months ago on Imager, I found a picture of this burger, and it was like just a picture of this burger made me like salivate, man. It was like, and we're eating leftover breakfast pizza this morning. Yeah, let's go breakfast pizza. And basically, my wife, I showed my wife this burger that I found this image of, and I was like, "Look at this burger! This thing looks amazing." And she grabbed my phone and like took the link and sent the link to herself, and I had forgotten all about it. Well, yesterday comes around, and breakfast pizza, dude, so good. She yesterday comes around, and she ended up making the burger. I'm not surprised, but the burger she made ended up looking better than the burger that was even online, you know, and this thing was like Well, I mean, double beef patty, Swiss cheese, bacon. We had some salami, jalapenos. These are pickled red onions. It had uh, onion cream on it, and there was a tomato. What was it? Tomato relish. It was so good. I've actually got enough to make another one today. She made enough leftovers for me to make another one today, and ooh, dude, it about put me in a food coma. And we had like potato wedges and stuff like that. Dude, they were just. My daughter made me what's called tree bark. So it's like, is that what it is? Pretzel bark. Tree bark. Okay, pretzel bark. My bad. If you don't know what it is, it's like pretzels and it's like layered with toffee and then chocolate on top of it too. So, dude, they hooked it up and they got me a bunch of presents and stuff too. One being Java Lava. I was almost out of my Java Lava, so they got me a whole bunch of stuff. So, big shout out to my family, man. They really spoil me, and again, I'm very fortunate. And like, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing this. Hanging out with you guys every day and doing what I'm doing without their support. So, truly blessed, man. I really am. But I'll stop. I'll stop there. We got news coming up. Yeah, we're gonna do news, and then we're gonna hop into day one of Planescape Torment, man. Day one of Planescape Torment. If you hop into the food channel, there's actually a few more pics of like the sauces and the burger without the bun on top, and everything that kind of was made to go along with the burger there. So, what is what? The game. This is the game. This is the game. Hold on. And as always, Tabo, you've been here long enough. You should know that you can always use the commands game and ESRB to get a bit of a better view at what we're hopping into, right? So don't forget those commands are always available. And this is Planescape Torment, okay? It's a very story-rich, choices matter, I think, kind of RPG, right? It's not so much combat-based as it is just story-based kind of RPG game, yeah? And right there in chat, you should be able to get a better idea of what the plot is behind what's going to happen. This is a very man. When did this game come out? Holy
now that
crap,
we're friends
Queen.
again, is it okay if I pet you?
Boy, time flies when we're having fun, right? Yo, Queen, thank you very. 1999.
Queen just resubscribed for 10 months.
Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you very, very much. Incredible. How's your summer going so far? You're completely done with school at this time, right? Completely finished with work until next year. So this is actually one of Queen's all-time favorite games. Okay, and as I try to do, it just started. Okay. That's what I thought. I wasn't sure if it had kicked off just a little bit before this or if it was just starting right now. I wasn't sure, but cool. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. This is one of Queen's all-time favorite games. We have talked about playing this for a very long time because I love games like this, and I've never played it. And because Queen, is such a big part of our community, and this is a passionate game of hers, and a big part of the nostalgia part of Queen being a gamer today. I've been wanting to play it for a long time. We had planned to play it earlier this year, and it didn't work out because of just scheduling stuff between both of us, and now we're playing it. It worked out for right now for it to be played, right? Hey, perfect, Queen, perfect. So I'm really excited. This is a game that is developed or was developed by Black Isle Studios, whom also did Baldur's Gate back in the day. What's the other one? Oh, why can't I think of the name of it? Queen, help me out. It's right on the tip of my tongue, man, and I can't think of the name of it right now. Um, oh God, too early, not enough color. Icewind Dale. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yes. So like Baldur's Gate games, Icewind Dale. You know, they got very famous off of doing these kind of top down old school. Well, now they're old school. At the time they weren't. But CRPG style. Yeah, Icewind Dale. Yep, that was exactly it. Yep. These games, right? So they got very famous off of doing these types of games, and Planescape Torment's one that I never touched on. So and it didn't do really well to begin with, right? It from what I understand, it wasn't like a right out the gate like a critical success or anything, but it over time definitely became a classic, a game that people it's very very followed. It's still highly played today, and it's a very cult followed, kind of critically acclaimed game as it went on. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And it's even and I've even watched a video that Queen hooked me up with that just shows that the game still holds up today for what it provides as far. I mean, obviously, it's built on an old engine and everything, so don't expect like new age graphics and stuff. But it still holds up for being a 23-year-old game at this point, and especially as far as like the story and things like that go. It very very the replayability of it in today's day for when it was created is very good from what I understand. So we should have a great time with this. It's probably going to take us around 50 hours to get through it. I'm not going to be rushing this or anything, but the plan is to kind of play through this week, get into Witcher 3 starting on Monday. Okay. What we're probably going to do is play a little bit of Raft this coming weekend with my kiddos. There's a new Raft update coming out. And to do a little bit of delayed celebration, Father's Day celebration gaming with my kids. We decided to push Raft off until this weekend because the kids and I were going to have a little bit more time to be able to play it this coming weekend together and enjoy the new update that's coming out. So on that note, let's do what we do. Let's hop into gaming news, okay? And we'll get through that, and then we'll start up our day one Planescape tournament. Cool. It's good to see everybody again. I hope your weekend went very well. Let's get this video gaming news segment. I love it. Yesterday's was really short, and opposed to what we had seen over the past like couple of weeks, where we had a lot of very long news segments because of all the showcases and stuff. So I mean, I've already okay. So yeah, I saw that in Discord. Sorry, I was really busy yesterday. I didn't see that. Tabo, I've already been trying to kind of incorporate that. I mean, so that's not something new. The problem is that quite often I try to address the community with what they want to play, and it's kind of like crickets, man. So I've been doing that for a long time. That's actually, I mean, it's a good recommendation, but it's actually something I've already been doing. I've been saying that weekends are actually community game time most of the time for quite a while now. And whether it be like we did, for quite a while it was Lost Ark weekend content, but that was still community game time for anybody that wanted to try the game out. But it's like, I mean, I've been trying to get into all kinds of other games that community could play as far as free games, just things to try out, and ultimately that's what weekends have been for a very long time. Not every single weekend day, because sometimes I do weekend time with the kids and stuff, but that is not a new idea. And that's something that I've been trying to do for a long time. Even, I mean, what was it last weekend where I was trying out, what was it, Roller Champions? It's a free-to-play game, and I was like, anybody that wants to play it, come try it out. It's a free-to-play game. All you have to do is download it, and Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to do that stuff for a long time, but it's like whenever I try to get people to chime in on what we're gonna do, it almost seems like crickets, man. So I just have to kind of go with whatever I'm gonna do, uh, because ultimately that's just I have to come up with some kind of content. Um, so I've literally been trying to do weekend content for the community, like as community game time play for a very long time at this point, and to an extent we've done stuff and I'm always up for that kind of thing. That's literally why like Creativerse came up and we talk about I handed out a ton of copies of Garfield Kart Furious Racing last year because a lot of what I want to do on the weekends is play games as a community. But whenever I'm not getting input from the community as far as what people want to play together, or people don't want to, come hang out and play whatever game we've decided to try out for that weekend. Here's another one of the big things. Oh, nice, dude. Check out that random mode emote. Check that out. There you go, guys. Try to get your free sub right there. Um, the thing that's rough is what I'm always looking for are either very cheap games for the community to play together, or free games for the community to play together because uh, not everybody has just excess money to throw around to buy whatever game um, I would like to play or whatever anybody suggests in the community as far as games to just pick up and buy and play or whatever that we might only play for a weekend or so, and that's why I'm always looking out for games that are free or what have you. I'm sorry that I didn't get to address that in Discord yesterday. I was pretty busy yesterday, but we've been trying to do that for a while, man. And I'm always up for input. And Creativerse is absolutely something that we could end up trying out weekend after next. I mean, that's why Gwent got brought up because Gwent is something that goes along with Witcher 3, and it's a free to play game and it's a multiplayer, so we could try that. I mean, that's why these multiplayer games get brought up because weekend content is supposed to be community based games for the most part. Um, I know that you have not been able to keep up with what's going on in the community for a while because you've been so wrapped up in school. So I get that, but we've been trying to be on that path for a good hot minute now. The thing is, unless people are going to be uh, vocal about what we're going to play and putting in ideas and coming to some kind of consensus about what everybody wants to try to play for the weekend content, I have to just go with whatever I think is going to be fun and just roll with it. There's nothing else for me to do besides just keep creating content. You know, never split the party. I think I've heard of that. Yeah, I think I've heard of that. Yeah, again, if you wouldn't mind throwing that in the Discord, man, I would appreciate it. And don't forget, I mean, as we get closer to the weekend stuff, we always, I always start bringing that stuff up more often, and uh, I need input and I need to know what people want to play on the weekends. Again, this coming weekend's probably going to be raft stuff with the kids to an extent. Sometimes my kids will get bored after a few 4 hours, something like that, and then we can uh, we can do some more Jackbox. That's cool. Yeah, I mean we've done Jackbox stuff a couple of weekends. I'm always trying to find community games. So yeah, it's definitely not a new idea. We've been trying to do it for a while. Garfield, I love Garfield cars. Actually, Disney's coming out with their new game, which is in beta. I almost signed up for the beta, but it was like sign up for emails and then you can be part of the beta. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks though. I don't need email spam from you to just try to be in your beta. I'll play the game when it comes out. But on that note, and again, to Bo, it's a great idea. It's just something I've already been trying to do. I need people to be engaged with it. That's what I need. Um, Otherwise, I don't have any other option other than to just uh, do whatever I can do to just keep creating content. Like, you know, the roller champions weekend, nobody really wanted to play. Some people said it looked fun, but they didn't hop in and play. I was just literally playing a day with randos online. Nobody wanted to. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Thanks. Nobody wanted to hop in there. And next weekend we can still try some stuff out because the kids will probably only want to go on raft each day for about 3 or 4 hours, and we can get a couple hours in or something of, whatever community based game. Yeah, but that's what I try to do on the weekends. And sometimes it's going to understand that sometimes on the weekends, depending on schedule and everything, it's probably going to require us to play whatever game we played during the week. Hey, thanks, Mamzelle. Thank you, my friend. It's gonna require us to play whatever our game is on the weekdays, play into the weekend, depending on if we need to try to get a game wrapped up or whatever. But man, I've been trying to do community gaming stuff on the weekends for a long time. I just need people to be engaged with it. That's it. Yeah. Thanks, man. Let's get into this gaming news. Let's go. It's good to see everybody. I do hope you had a great weekend. I hope if you have somebody in your life that is a dad, is your dad, a father figure, anything like that. I hope you were able to reach out and say Happy Father's Day. I tried to throw a tweet out yesterday, um, say my piece to the people in my life and just dads around the world, man. Um, let's do this. It's good to see everybody. Thanks for being here. Yours is gone for milk. Oh, Tabo. Well, look, and this is what I'll say. I mean, I'll show you guys what I tweeted out. And I've been fortunate enough to have some amazing, my dad. Uh, I've got a good dad in my life. This was my tweet yesterday, and it's not lost on me that I've been fortunate enough to have some dad figures in my life, whether it be my own dad that's always been part of my life and has been an amazing person, and or be a father-in-law. I have an amazing father-in-law in my life as well, and this is the thing that I wanted to really get across yesterday is that is I think something that not everybody has a father in their life because this is what it takes, right? You prefer not really prefer to make fun, but I mean this is the truth about it, right? It's quite often it's not all that hard to become one. It's figuring out and working to be a good one, staying around and doing you know doing your job, and it's not always easy to figure out. And there's always, as a parent in general, looking back, you're going to see things that you figure you could have probably done better and different, but it's just trying to do the best you can do to be the good one you can in the moment. I think that's the critical part about uh, you know taking hold of that responsibility, and there are a lot of people in the world that grow up without a parent or parents because uh, they just didn't stick around. So um, to those individuals that are less fortunate in regards to that fact, then that sucks, man. And I feel for those individuals. And I was lucky enough to have parents around, and that's not lost on me, man. It really isn't. So, I just wanted to make sure that people understood that um, it's important that we I think, appreciate the fact that being a parent isn't always easy, and I know for a fact that I did not make it easy on my parents for a chunk of time. I was quite the tough teenager to deal with. but my parents stuck by me, and you know, they didn't always have to, but they did. I was lucky enough to have parents that were willing to do that. So, um, you know, it was important to me to kind of, really touch base with my dad yesterday and say thanks and everything. So to those people that didn't have that support structure around them, and that positive influence in their lives, that sucks, man. And I feel sorry for those people, and I feel fortunate to have who I have had as parents in my life. All right, enough of it. Let's get into the gaming news. Um, we've read it. We've read it. Uh oh. And NetEase plunges nearly 7% after it delays release of Diablo Immortal. Cool. Yeah. Postponed in China. That's what this is going to talk about. Let's go with Games Radar instead of CNBC. How about that? Oh my gosh, guys. Are you seeing this? Diablo Immortal has apparently earned over $24 million in just 2 weeks. So I saw a video of a very popular streamer that committed to spending money in the game in an attempt to uh, see how much money they would have to spend before they got a high tier end game item that they actually needed for their build, right? And it literally took them just over $25,000. Just over $25,000 to finally get that item. Wow. I mean, there's no doubt about it at this point with everything we know about the game. The game was built for Wells, right? That's just, it's not a game that's built for a casual, free to play, even a Dolphin player. This game is built for Wells. That is it. If you don't know what a well is, it's literally somebody that has like basically limitless money to spend in any kind of gaming venture. Okay, um, that is wild though. And God, I wish this game never existed because of what it means, and has, uh, you know, shown can be done within the gaming industry for such a scummy, trashy kind of incorporation for a game mechanic to just suck money out of people, that it is being successful. That sucks. Now, I don't know how much money they spent creating the game, but I'm willing to bet at this point they're probably going, this looks pretty good. 24 million in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. Oh, dude, Madness Returns has been taken off Steam again. For real. Hands on with Power A's new colorful pastel controllers for PC. Um, let's take a look. Yes? Tabo, are you about these? Is that what you're saying? You like that? Yeah? All right. Take a look, man. There's still some good looking games coming out. Yo, I saw a lot of really cool stuff. I'm not going to dive into this. I saw a lot of really cool stuff in the showcases we watched over the past couple of weeks. The Netflix video game you need to play. We'll take a look real quick. The company, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year, previously developed Ikaruga, Radiant Silver Gun, and Wario. Treasure says it's working on a highly requested game. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. I mean, Tinwin's a big Alice Madness fan as well. It had been taken off Steam for quite a while, and then it came back, and now it's off again. I know we're gonna find out what's going on here. Yeah. There are a lot of there's a big cult following behind Alice as well, man. So we'll see what's going on there. already have more articles than we did yesterday. Sunday was pretty bleak, man, as far as gaming news was concerned. And one of the articles we got out of comicbook.com was terribly written and not edited. It was like, it was pretty bad. Yeah, we've read about that. RE4 remake. Let's take a look at that. Get all the details real quick. We knew this was coming. We saw it in the showcase. We've seen a lot of details, but just to summarize and really get a comprehensive look at everything about RE4, so we know exactly what to expect. We'll take a look at that. Okay. Yeah, we read about that. Yeah, let me bring something up. For Diablo Immortal to make that much in 2 weeks really, really speaks volumes about the environment of gamers. Wells could care less about how. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, uh, that's that. I mean, that just goes along with kind of the difference between quite often, not always, but quite often, um, the difference between the way people in the world with money feel about you know the way the world works in regards to the difference between the way people feel that don't have a lot of money. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same thing. Um, to the extent of like, you know, somebody that kind of lives paycheck to paycheck, you know what I mean? Living wage, you get like a parking ticket or a speeding ticket, right? It's like, dude, having to deal with that, paying that money, you have to circumvent, you have to figure out a way to pay for that. And like, um, what are you going to end up doing without, right? Quite often, somebody that's living, off a living wage, paycheck to paycheck, if they get some kind of, and I'm making an example here, I'm using a traffic violation in for a specific reason. Um, if you got a traffic violation, it's a significant undertaking to try to figure out how you're going to deal with that fine in your say monthly budget, right? Are you going to do without some amount of groceries? You're still gonna have to pay your rent, right? What is it within your lifestyle, your life that you're gonna be able to, or you're gonna have to figure out what you're gonna do without, right? As opposed to people that are very rich, yeah, very wealthy people, where they see fines and things like that uh, as just a way to pay to do whatever you want. Yeah, it doesn't matter to them. As long as it's not something that and usually, oh yeah, yeah, exactly, gamer, yeah, for sure. Yep, exactly. It's one of those situations where um, and I know it doesn't translate perfectly well what I'm talking about, but it's definitely a problem. Yeah, and it's like very wealthy people they see like a parking ticket as just uh, a place to park that most people won't park there because they're afraid to get a ticket, whereas wealthy people see it as free parking because the fine doesn't matter to them, right? Um, or a speeding ticket is nothing because it's just as long as it's not something that's going to be, putting them in jail, which they can usually buy their way out of as well. Let's be honest. Um, it's just a way to pay to be able to do whatever they want, right? And that's kind of that situation in the games. Most people, the larger percentage of gamers, aren't wealthy enough to be able to just pay for whatever they want, right? But they definitely catered that game to the Wells, yeah. And no, well, I mean, the pay to win, pay to play. Uh, I don't think. I mean, as far as it's come at this point, I don't think anybody was under the impression it was ever going to go away. And to the extreme that it's gotten at this point. It's been successful enough. But I think that Diablo Immortal really, really, really just shows you how brutal it can be, how absolutely schemazed it can be, and still be successful because there are enough people, even though it's a small percentage of people, there are enough people out there with enough money that, I mean, an absurd amount of money to just dump into those kinds of titles that obviously Blizzard didn't care about, their true fan base, right? That's what I want people to see. Blizzard did not care about their true fan base to release a game like that where all they cared about was money. You know, that is who Blizzard is. Blizzard is not the Blizzard that they used to be. Okay? They have not been that company for a very long time. I mean, let's not get it twisted. It's not like they just changed or anything. Blizzard has not been the Blizzard that they were back in the, Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo 1 and 2 days, the original World of Warcraft days. They have not been that company for a very long time. They are not worried about their true, who they used to be, who their true fan base was from back in those days. They just care about money, like so many big devs nowadays that started out as, the same way Blizzard did. Feels terrible to most of us, but you're right. They'll continue to, those types of games will continue to be successful as long as, these mechanics that they develop these games around are done in a very good way. The gameplay is decent, and because there's enough people out there that will spend the money, right? Tabo. yeah, dude. Yeah. That's another one of those names I just hate to even, it tastes terrible in my mouth. Yeah. That's why I'm grateful to have grown up in a modest wage. Yeah, I mean, same here. Look, man, I grew up, I started working when I was like 12 years old, Summers started working when I was 12. And, I think there's something to be said for, and not every, don't get me wrong, man, not every person that is wealthy is beyond the understanding of what it means to have responsibility and to know what it's like to be able to relate to people that don't have money and to have compassion for people that are not wealthy. And so, like, don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? That's not the play. But quite often, people that have money because they were born into money and they don't understand, right? And all they see money as is like kind of no obstacle, right? It's like whatever they need or want. It's just whatever. Just give it to me. You know what I mean? It's a weird kind of situation that most of us won't ever understand because most of us, the majority of the world is not wealthy or rich, and it's a weird situation, man. It really is. We've talked about this a lot. There's so many articles right now about Prime Gaming set to offer, and it's because Amazon's such a huge company. That's why. But Amazon Prime Gaming is set to offer like roughly 50 free games next month. Okay, we're talking like 3 weeks away. So around that time, I will make sure that everybody is well aware. I'm not diving back into this. Some of the more, like the main notable thing that they're giving away is the Mass Effect Legendary series. So you're getting all of the Mass Effect games and the DLC and stuff like that, I think. But as we get close, we're like 3 weeks away, man. I'll make sure everybody understands. And if you have Prime Gaming, you get the free games and stuff, okay? An Easter egg in Unpacking has revealed the developers. We'll see what that's about. Yeah, I don't know. I hate to see it, man. I hate to see the pay to win stuff be successful like that, especially when it's skewed that hard to where it's like you can't even really. not that you can't enjoy the game as a free-to-play player, but you can only enjoy it to an extent before it just skews so hard that you can't play, you can't enjoy any more of the game, Let me bring up something. I am not a person that feeds into, you know, drama and stuff like that, really. I don't dig it. I'm not a big I don't chase drama anyways. Yeah, it's not my thing, but I've come across this there's this trending thing on Twitch right now, or in the world of streaming, that came up that just keeps coming across my YouTube, man. And I find it absolutely hilarious and ridiculous at the same time. Uh, so if you're not aware, um, and I just want to get other people's opinions on this, because I'm starting to feel like I'm like kind of opposite of the way a lot of people feel, and at least the way a lot of other streamers feel. And I can't help but think that even if I was a very popular, streamer, if I got a lot of viewers, and while the community is still growing and everything, I just haven't been streaming for that long. So, but there's a very popular. I mean, I'm sure most of you know who XQC is, right? And XQC made a tier list, right? Have you guys seen this? XQC made a tier list of other streamers and their content on was it? I think it was across Twitch and YouTube. It might have just been on Twitch. Other streamers and what their content meant for the platform, right? Oh yeah. I mean, we're getting there. I mean, I never expected this, and especially with the type of community we're trying to create here, I never expected it to just blow up. But we're continually finding more members, and again, one of the main reasons I work so hard on YouTube all the time is to reach out and find more like-minded people for our community. It's not something monetary that I'm trying to get done with YouTube. It's literally something. It's like an outreach program for me to try to find more people that are like us to be part of our community. Gamer, I'll hit on that in a moment. And apparently there are some people, that just get, because the tier list that XQC made was like, S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, whatever, dude. I refer to myself as a Z tier streamer all the time. Like, I refer to myself like that. But there's like a specific B tier, somebody that got listed as a B tier streamer on that list got bent out of shape, man, and like threw a fit. And I mean, I'm guessing an amount of it is just for content, but at the same time, I can't help but think that there's this big like struggle at the top for these people to want to seem or be better than these other big content creators, what I mean? And so when something like this comes out, they get, if one of them makes a tier list and they don't rate as, up there, dude, I would love to be rated as like a B tier streamer on XQC's list. Dude, I would take like, L rate streamer on XQC's list. It's just wild to me, man. And like, it trends so hard that somebody gets super bent out of shape, and it just creates all this drama, and I mean, have you guys seen this stuff? I find it absolutely wild, that what it was at least B. Yo, thanks to Bo, thanks, dude, and Gamer, I'll hit on that in a second. If not an S. What it was Hassan, dude. Hassan, yo, thanks, buddy, thanks. YouTube, man. Hassan got bent out of shape, dude, about being listed as a B tier streamer on XQC's list. And I was just like, this is wild, dude. Like, why do you even care what somebody else thinks? You know what I mean? It's just like some other person's Well, why is that such a big deal? Why are you going to let that affect your emotional state so much? You know, it just people get so bent out of shape about. And I don't think that XQC was really meaning anything malicious by it. That's what content creators do, tier lists and stuff like that all the time. Dude, Hassan got bent. This is so upset. It's just, to me, it's like, it's not doing anything for you, man. You know, letting somebody get under your skin like that's wild, man. I don't know. I just didn't know if you guys had seen this kind of stuff, what you thought about it and everything. I feel like I feel like I'm just so much different than like these people that just feed off the drama and stuff, you know. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll keep going. It's just something that keeps coming up, man. I keep seeing all these different like articles and videos about this specifically right now, and I wanted to know what other people thought about it, you know. All right, let's see. What page is this? Let's pivot over. Pivot over real quick. We already got that up. That's actually cool, but I'm not gonna dive into that right now. Yeah, we got that up right now as well. We've talked about that. That's cool. We've talked a lot about that. I'm not gonna dive into that. How video games are revolutionary. We talked about that too. We talked about that. Hit on this. We've hit a lot on what Netflix needs to do to be successful in gaming. Talked a lot about the unionization too. I'm not diving into that. Not right now. Not unless we see another big company get unionization going. I'm not going to dive back into what is going on across the industry with unionization. It's just not worth. We've talked about it too much. Racing fans have decided on what the greatest We'll see what that has to do. There are a lot of fans of racing games out there. We'll see what that has. Talk about that. This little Little League Baseball arcade game looks pretty cool. It's coming out in August. It looks pretty neat. Yeah, the Grammy Award for video game composition, musical composition. That's cool. They're making a new Spider-Man game. That's neat. Oh yeah, and Gamer. Can the devs like EA and Blizzard take full blame? Seriously, I mean, the people still buy it. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, absolutely. Oh yeah. No. You're definitely. I mean, and I've talked about this before, and specifically with EA. I mean, so EA Sports games, you're putting in a perfect example there with Madden. That's why I quit playing NHL. Man, I was a big fan of the NHL games back in like the teens, like the early teens, 20 teens. A big fan of the NHL games, and I was like pre-ordering those games on console every year, PlayStation, and I would play the NHL games nonstop, and they were EA games. But what I noticed was they were becoming very cookie cutter. They were not focusing on the game modes that used to make the game fun, and instead the only thing they were focusing on was the hockey ultimate team crap, which was the scummy like loot box kind of incorporation mode of the game where you buy packs, you get players, you put the players on your team, you play other teams, and it wasn't just about getting the players. It was like you have to get contracts for the players. You're always having to spend more money, man. You know what I mean? And that's why I quit playing the game. You know, and again, I mean, for me, I think you guys know the way I feel. I mean, it's because I am so passionate about games and the industry, and I have a very, you know, strong stance when it comes to how I believe the industry should, what's kind of right and wrong, you know, morally and ethically regarding uh, developers and games within the industry, and it's not that I'm totally against like cash shops in games and everything, because there have been some really good ways to incorporate cash shops and free to play games. There's some great free to play games in the industry, right? And they have to make money somehow. But there's some really scummy ways to do it too, right? And um, that's why I quit playing the NHL games a long time ago, because they became very cookie cutter. They were never making any kind of improvements to the NHL games besides to the hut shop stuff where it was just you pay $60 for the game, and then they wanted people to just go keep paying more and more and more and more. So I quit playing them. I didn't want to support them anymore. Same thing that like with Blizzard now. Dude, I will not play a Blizzard game right now. I just won't do it. But most people don't feel that way. You know, most people, even if they're not real happy with what developers are doing, they don't take that stance, right? And that's kind of what needs to happen if we want change to be, you know, if we want change to happen within an industry, it's going to take people taking a stance across the board against some of these more scummy, kind of horrible things that a lot of the big devs are doing, and to a greater extent, I just don't really see it happening. Right? I I will do my part, and I would hope that a lot of other people would do their part, but I'm not real hopeful. Um, all I can do is keep, you know, plugging along here with the way I feel about it, and I have a platform, so I am hopeful that eventually, as we get bigger and bigger, people will start to you know, and you know, it's another. I'm very passionate about this, and to both. And I'm not saying nobody does, you know what I mean. But I think in the grand scheme of gamers, I don't think that we're at the point where enough people are taking a stance to make a difference. I guess you know what I mean. Um, but I think the worse it gets in the industry, the more likely the possibility is of enough people taking a stance for there to see some kind of change made. Right? It's going to take time, and I'm absolutely at the point where I've seen enough horrible stuff. I mean, this has been something in the making for me for years and years at this point, right? I mean, we're talking like over a decade now where I've seen this kind of stuff happening. And I mean, there again, NHL was a game I played over a decade ago that after a few years, I could just see the scummy kind of stuff happening, and I decided to just quit playing it. Um, so I don't know, man. I mean, I have a platform now, and I always put these videos up on YouTube again, partially to try to reach people that are potentially like-minded and would, you know, be good fits for people to become part of our community, but also to try to raise awareness for some of the things that I think are important across the gaming industry as well. I mean, I think maintaining awareness, staying current on the industry and what's happening, it's very important to me. I think it's important to you guys as well, or else you wouldn't be here, right? So I don't know. It's going to take time, man. It's not. It's definitely. It's going to take a stance across, you know, us as gamers standing up and not supporting a lot of this scummy crap coming from the devs anymore. Uh, well, again, I mean, I think that comes down to the fact that it's unfortunately the thing that makes that very hard is um, making a you know, taking a stance in that aspect is very difficult because it's not the majority of gamers, right, that fit that uh, there are that is a small percentage of gamers that spent that money. Understand that. That's a small percentage of the gaming population that has that amount of money to spend on that game. Okay, so that's what makes it really difficult, is that it's hard to get through to those people to say, please don't do this, because they don't have the same viewpoint we do. They don't see money as an obstacle, right? They see money as a gateway, not an obstacle. They see it as a way to get whatever they need or want, and it's not an issue. As opposed to the majority of people in the world, the majority of gamers, where money is an issue, right? And that's what makes, I think, ultimately, I mean, you nailed it. That's what makes this issue very, very, very hard. So, again, I don't know. Will we ever get to the point where we're going to be able to see change from these devs on this front? I don't know, man. I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell. But I think that's the thing that makes it very hard is as long as people continue to spend money in that way on a scummy game, especially one as scummy as Diablo Immortal is, I don't see change happening. All we can do is do our part and hope that at some point it catches on and enough of it comes to a head. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if there are always going to be those whales out there willing to spend the money. I don't know that it'll ever make a difference. I can't tell you. I can't tell you for sure if it will, man. It doesn't seem like it, does it? Unfortunately. Feels bad, man. Feels bad looking at it like that, doesn't it? Yo, you too, buddy. Thanks for always engaging in the community and discussion in the news and stuff, man. Have a very safe day, man. We'll see you very soon, okay? Yeah, we've talked about unions a lot. Wait, what? Lightyear gets reimagined as a PS1 game in new video. I'll take a quick look at that. No, we're not. I'm not going to dive into that. Look, I mean, this isn't news. This is just educating yourself on technology, okay? Excuse me. So if you're not up to date with like how technology works within gaming and you're interested, I would say dive in there, okay? It's very good to know. I highly encourage people to like actually, if you're especially get interested in getting into PC gaming, maybe start small, but look into building your own PCs, because the more knowledge you have about the way technology works together and the way the different pieces of hardware, what their purpose is, how they function together to, you know, all the processes within, whether it be, just for normal PC functioning or actually gaming performance across the board. The more knowledge you have in regards to the way technology works, the better off you are, especially when it comes to things like troubleshooting things. And so I know it's not for everybody, but the more knowledge, education you have, it's not all that hard. Just a little bit of online research, watching some videos and stuff like that. Self-education can go a long ways in regards to, that kind of thing. Last page, and then we'll start getting into these articles. Okay, guys? We read about this one. Again, when it comes to the this article actually sounded like the individual that wrote it had a kind of an agenda against what people typically see as the an appealing stereotypical female. And this kind of thing comes up all the time where it's like, well, that's women always get stereotyped in this very as what beauty should be for a woman. But the same thing happens to men, man, and it doesn't come up very often. And what was funny about this one is that, like, I feel like the writer of this article was just, ultimately assuming that, like, this AI figure was a woman, and it could have just been an AI NPC that looked like a woman but was actually a man. I mean, there were all kinds of, like, variables in here that it's like, come on, man. It was just a bit wild. And again, I think a lot of developers have tried to kind of get away from the stereotypical kind of, whether it be male or female or whatever, stereotypical male gender, female gender vision of what beauty is, whether it be the Brad Pitt face, Chad chiseled body dude, or the, huge bust, tiny waist, big hip, girl with the, there's a lot of that stereotypical kind of, stuff that has gone on through entertainment, man. It's not just games, through entertainment. Obviously, games are easier because figures in games are almost always, computer generated and stuff. But it's a hard thing to address because it's ultimately, I mean, as all entertainment goes, sex sells, man. And to an extent, a lot of creators are going to try to appeal to that part of the entertainment industry, right? And there is a consensus across human beings as to what is beautiful. Aliens Dark Descent, release date, latest news and leaks. Life is? What do you mean, Tabo? Life is what? Life is beautiful? Is that what you mean? Elaborate for me there, buddy, so I know exactly what you're saying, dude. Yeah, life is beautiful, dude. I like that. Yeah. Dude, I agree with you. I agree with you, man. I love life, man. Elden Ring player makes He-Man with character creator. I gotta see it. We gotta see this. All right, let's hop into these articles. I've been ranting too much already this morning. Let's get into these articles. All right. First off, I like that sentiment right there, Tabo, and I'm right there with you, buddy. I love life, dude. I've got an amazing life. I'm a very fortunate individual, but I'll say that I think that, especially since I've been able to do what I'm truly passionate about in streaming and creating this community and hanging out with you amazing people over the past years, kind of shed a new light on what life has to offer. Not that life seemed bleak to begin with, or before this or anything. I've always been fortunate, but it's definitely shed a little bit of light on what it means to just be happy and doing what I do every day, as far as what my passion is, and it's really been kind of eye opening. So, as fortunate as I even was before this, is, just in life and with having an amazing wife and kids and things like that, being able to do this every day with you guys and just hang out with amazing people and pursue my passion has really shown me a whole new piece of what it means to be just happy and engaging in what my passion is in life. It's really wild, man. Really wild. Alice Madness Returns has been taken off Steam again after being relisted less than 4 months ago. Yeah. I have never played this game, and I absolutely need to. I've needed to play this game for a very long time. Alice Madness Returns, the sequel to American McGee's Alice, hasn't had a great time of it on Steam after being delisted in late 2016 due to problems with the DRM publisher Electronic Arts saddled it with. Madness Returns returned in late February this year. Yeah, I know, dude. I've known for a long time I needed to play this game, and I've got to find a time to work it in. It managed to stay on Steam for less than 4 months before being removed again, as the boilerplate text on its Steam page currently says, at the request of the publisher, Alice Madness Returns is no longer available for sale on Steam. Dude, that feels bad. While fans have been quick to blame EA again, this time it may be the result of a simple mistake. As American McGee has suggested on Twitter, the issue could be down to a problem with another game by developer Spicy Horse, action RPG Akiniro Demon Hunters. Akiniro, which we described as 1 part Little Red Riding Hood, 1 part Japanese mythos, and 5 parts under construction tape, had become unplayable, first due to a login problem that could only be circumvented by what one of its developers called an ugly hack, shared on the Steam forum, then by the servers going down. McGee suggests that while delisting the broken Akiniro Spicy Horse's other game may have accidentally been caught in the same net. We're reaching out to support and trying to get this resolved, McGee wrote. If that's the case, hopefully it can be restored soon. In the meantime, Alice Madness Returns remains available on Origin, no thanks, and on Game Pass via EA Play, no thanks. Last year, American McGee shared his outline for the unmade third game in the series called Alice Asylum. Folk remain interested in the series, and there was even word of a TV version being written by David Hayter. Oh, there you go. If you need to do a bit more looking into that, there you go. Power A's pastel controllers are perfect for a summer spent playing games indoors. Oh, there you go. Those are pretty. Like Easter eggs got smashed into these controllers, man. Not really a fan of the camo looking one, but that's cool. From left to right, pastel dream, purple camo, cotton candy blue, pink lemonade, and lavender swirl. I think I like these two the best. Probably why they're up front. When it comes to colorful controller designs, Xbox game has been on point for years. Ever since the Xbox One generation, Microsoft has released many fun variations of its controllers, including limited editions and the Xbox Design Lab. And this momentum has not slowed with the Xbox Series XS consoles. Meanwhile, the third-party range of Xbox controllers is more expansive than ever, and brands like Power A are hitting budget-friendly prices with slick new colorways of its own, like the recently released pastel range of the roughly $38 US Power A enhanced wired controller for Xbox and PC. The thing I'm always worried about with these like third-party controllers is the durability of them, you know. Not that I've had a great experience with the first-party durability stuff, but announced back in March as a spring collection, these new pastel colors for the enhanced wired line include purple camo, lavender swirl, pink lemonade, pastel dream, and cotton candy blue. Pink lemonade seemed like the clear winner to me at first with its sleek yellow to pink gradient. But now having seen and handled all 5 colors in person, I can officially declare cotton candy blue as the best looker. It's actually a bit more seafoam bluish green than its name indicates, but regardless, it's a bold yet soft monochromatic hue on this controller. Yeah, this one's cute. I like it. All 5 pastel designs look great overall, with varied uses of gradients, model patterns, and or two-tone contrast on front and back that gives each one a unique signature. Sure, it's a shame that these controllers are saddled with outdated micro USB connections, but I'll give some credit to PowerA for at least opting for a white detachable cable with each one to better complement the light and airy look. Cool new pastels are now readily available at many retailers, and it won't be a surprise if they start seeing discounts and sales of their own, like many others in PowerA's lineup. They're a small breath of budget tier fresh air, and they're a nice addition to a summer of gaming that's got new local multiplayer games like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Yeah, man, here's my thing. Yeah, lipstick. It looks good, right? They're colorful, they're nice, but we're talking like virtually $40 US, where you can get a legit, Xbox Series 1 controller or Xbox Core controller for what, $10 more than that? And we're talking USB-C, like I don't know. I'll throw it in here. I'll let you guys make a decision. You might need to do a bit of reviewing to see what the what maybe some professional reviews, even some personal reviews are regarding the PowerA durability of these types of controllers and stuff are. Yeah, do your research. The Netflix video game you need to play. Point P. We've read about Point P already, but let's take a quick glance here. Decades ago, when smartphones transformed into viable video game devices, yo, it's hanging well, Metal. What's up, dude? How are you, man? What's up, buddy? Got more Java Lava for Father's Day, dude. It's so good. How many of you don't know what Java Lava is? I was very much a mobile gaming guy. I'd spend every second of my precious commute time on games like Doodle Jump, Angry Birds, or Tiny Wings. Then at some point, I just stopped playing video games on my phone. I never got hooked on any of the Clash of Clans style games or any exploitive pay-to-win online experiences. Slow but surely, my phone became like a washing machine or a fridge. Piece of technology that solves a handful of extremely rote problems and nothing more. Oh, you need some. Hold on. All right, here you go. I should have just brought this over to begin the stream. So, this is Java Lava, dude. Okay. I got some. When did I get that? Was it Christmas? Birthday? Something. A while back. Dude, I've shown a lot of people in the community this before. This one's all wrapped up, but let me show you, okay? These are the new ones. I'm almost out of the stuff that I already had. This stuff is amazing. Amazing. If you like hot sauce and you're a coffee fan, this stuff is legit insane. They've got dark roast and light roast. Check it out. Hot sauce for coffee. It is so good, dude. So good, dudes and dudesettes. I'll show you the website real quick. Check it out. I've got to promote it, man. It's insane. This stuff is amazing. Here, I'll throw it in chat too. Right there in chat. This is it though. And it's like primarily promoted as like something for coffee, but they say that like you can subtle sweeteners, cozy spices, zero vinegar, takes your favorite coffee, makes it even better. Or tea, or cocktail, or dessert, or you name it. So it's promoted for like primarily coffee, but They say you can use it in like tea, desserts, whatever. And it's a real nice, like, kind of, like they said, like it's like a subtle sweetness, but nice little kick of spice in it and stuff. And they've got the dark roast and they've got a light roast. Yeah. You could. Yeah, you could. It's really good. It was just like a trial kind of thing because I love spicy stuff and I love coffee and my wife got me some a while back. I don't know, around a half year ago, something like that, maybe a little bit further, and I fell in love with it, man. Fell in love with it, and I was almost out, and surprised me with a whole new thing of it yesterday for Father's Day. So, whoo, ready to roll. But I highly recommend if you guys have not ever seen or tried this, like, give it a shot. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Yeah, very cool. All right, moving on. Then at some point, I just stopped playing video games on my phone. I never got hooked on any of the Clash of Clans. Yeah. Then I started playing Point B. Point B is the latest game by Ajiro Fumoto, better known as the guy who made Downwell, a gorgeously tactile retro shooter about a man who jumps down a well, blasting a lot of things in the process. I know Downwell. I haven't played it, but I know it. But in Point P, you don't go down. Point P is very much a video game about going up. At base level, Point P is a video game about gathering fruit to feed a menacing-looking monster intent on murdering you. But mechanically, it's something of a greatest hits, borrowing liberally from viral mobile games of yesteryear. Much like Doodle Jump, Point P has you moving upward, only using slingshot arcs precisely like the ones in Angry Birds. Players slowly earn upgrades and making you more powerful, like in, say, Jetpack Joyride, and you find yourself using those upgrades to reach new levels like you might in every video game ever made. For someone like me who bounced off mobile games after its first golden age, Point P is the perfect entry point. Familiar yet new, it's a pastiche of something comfortable, but does just enough to keep you on your toes. Because Point P isn't just about going up, it's about collecting the right type of fruit to feed a rampaging monster as the timer ticks ominously in the background. If you don't collect the right type of fruit quickly enough, you lose and have to start over. Time limit creates a panicked claustrophobia in the player, and I can't get enough of it. It's a Devolver published game too. Cool. Better still, Point P is dense with flourishes that allow the best players to perform spectacular moments of skill. You're given a limited number of jumps to collect the right kind of fruit to feed the rampaging monster, but it's possible to break that limit via attacks on smaller monsters patrolling the levels. This provides the opportunity to create all kinds of inventive combos, forcing you to invent creative solutions on the fly in high-pressure situations. The more you play, the better you become at manipulating the game's limited toolset, creating a sensation of mastery exclusive to the most effectively designed video games. In short, Point P rules. Yeah, it's a Netflix video game exclusive to Netflix subscribers, right? That's the way their games work. So if you have a Netflix subscription, you just get on their app. It's right there. Try it out. See what you think. All right. Treasure says it's working on a highly requested game as it celebrates 30 years. The company, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year, previously developed Ikaruga, Radiant Silvergun, and Wario World in collaboration with Nintendo. In a tweet, the company said on June 19th, the company said on June 19th, 2022, Treasure Co. Limited celebrated its 30th anniversary. This year, the 30th anniversary, we are working hard to announce the highly requested that title. We look forward to your continued support of Treasure. Treasure's last releases were a duo of 3DS games in the Geist Crusher series. Prior to this, the company had been prolific during the PS2 era of console gaming, developing 12 titles between 2000 and 2006. It's unknown whether the game that Treasure intends to announce is a wholly original IP or a revisiting of one of the titles that they worked on in collaboration with Nintendo. cult N64 game Sin and Punishment received a sequel in 2009 for the Wii. The series has been dormant since. The company is understood to now consist of fewer than 10 employees, primarily handling re-releases of their classic titles. So it's possible that this will comply to. Why is this written weird? So it's possible that this will be a collection. That's written weird. However, if this is to be a sequel to a classic Treasure IP, Ikaruga seems to be the most popular choice based on responses to Treasure's tweet. That's written weird, right? Phil's? English is forward, yeah. I mean, as hard as it is for me, I feel like I come across these articles all the time that are like written. They're poorly written and they're not edited very, very well. I don't know. I've never seen that word used in that context in a sentence. So maybe it's right, but it doesn't read very well. All right, my bad. Resident Evil 4 remake release date, latest news and leaks. After considerable speculation, Capcom has confirmed that the RE4 remake is in development. We already knew that. But we couldn't be more excited as RE4 is renowned among the gaming community. Its nightmarish experience is unmatched. Since launching onto the GameCube in 2005, RE4 has been ported to 13 consoles. It was even developed into a VR game for the MetaQuest 2, which was a terrifying experience to behold. But Capcom isn't done scaring us yet, as they're remaking Resident Evil 4 from the ground up. Similar to RE2 and RE3 remakes for Xbox One and Series XS, PS4 and PS5, we played these games recently and know the horrifying power that Capcom has to create jump scares within the revamped RE universe. We're expecting Capcom to amplify the tension factor in RE4. It would make the experience more intimidating and unnerving for anyone that hasn't played it before. Even those who have played RE4 would find themselves frightened by the remake. Is it coming out in 2022? Capcom confirmed during the June PlayStation State of Play event that the RE4 remake would launch on March 24th of 2023. So it's a little less than a year away. Capcom has promised that story-wise nothing is changing between the original and the remake. However, improvements are being made to modernize this game for the next gen. Anyone that's experienced the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes knows that fidelity improvements will be made to RE4. However, those improvements will target next-gen consoles like the PS5 and Series XS on Xbox. This will mark the first instance of Capcom remaking an older game for the next-gen consoles, which should mean an immediate improvement in visual fidelity. Therefore, obviously, we can expect better graphics than ever before, even better than RE Village. Spoilers for anyone that hasn't played RE4, so I'm not reading this. Is the RE4 remake coming to Series XS and PC? Capcom hasn't confirmed that their RE4 remake is launching for the Series XS and PC. Capcom has confirmed that their RE4 remake is launching for the Xbox Series XS and PC on March 24th. This should say 2023. This is another error. Yeah, I know, Tabo. I know you're really excited about this one. This should say March 24th of 2023. Another error. We expect that Capcom will launch an RE4 Remake Collector's Edition for next-gen consoles and computers. Could offer things like, I'm not going to get into this. There's potential for them to offer all kinds of collector's things. Will it be part of the Game Pass on Xbox? They haven't agreed to anything yet, but there's the potential behind it. And there's the trailer. System requirements. RE2 and 3 remakes provide an excellent example of the graphic requirements for RE4. It's guaranteed that the following CPUs and GPUs will give enough power needed to operate this upcoming third-person survival horror action game. Yeah. So that's what you're looking at. Probably something around a 1060 or a Radeon RX 480 as a minimum. Recommended, you're talking about like a 5700, something like that. I don't know, dude. I don't know. No idea. We'll find out, man. We'll find out. Yeah, it doesn't look like the requirements are going to be too bad. Obviously, minimum are pretty accessible. Recommended aren't super tough either. So cool. There we go. We'll find out, man. What, about 3/4 of a year away? Yep, 3/4 of a year. It'll be here before we know it, man. An Easter egg in Unpacking has revealed the developer's next game. Earlier this month, Australian indie studio Witchbeam posted a blog that mentioned an unfound Easter egg in its game Unpacking. A pixel art rendition of the key art for our next game exists somewhere inside Unpacking, the blog said, and no one has found it yet. You know that game? Unpacking? Cool. A couple of days later, Easter egg hunting YouTuber xGarbit turned up that Easter egg. As some players had already figured out, you can turn on the game consoles in Unpacking and see fictional games Cactus Carts, Witch Sports, Android Cold War 3, and Lash and Dash. But turning on the Wii in the second apartment level revealed a game that may not exist yet, but isn't fictional. Timpopo. Described on Witchbeam's website as coming soon, we don't know anything about Timpopo yet. Both the name and the beamed notes in its logo suggest something musical, and Witchbeam does include noted composer Jeff Van Dyke, whose credits include various Total War games, Alien Isolation, and Skitchin. Wow. The island in the cloud and cute pink cave bud looking characters seem reminiscent of heartwarming adventure Raccoon, which is quite a musical game too. Before making a name for itself thanks to the life story told in moving boxes of Unpacking, Witchbeam was responsible for a twin-stick arcade shooter called Assault Android Cactus, a kinetic arcade laser disco. It was nothing like Unpacking, and it's entirely possible Timpopo could be something completely different again. What'd you think of the game? It's awesome? Cool, Tabo. You liked it a lot? Yeah? I've seen just a little bit of the game. It looked like it could be a cool little game to play. Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Racing fans have decided on what the greatest video game car is. It was known to obliterate entire fields. Time Extend, a podcast aimed squarely at racing game fans, carried out a bracket-style tournament vote on what the greatest video game car ever. Dude, they got, what is up with these sites not editing, not reviewing their work and editing? This is, it's so much of this is just so poorly written. A podcast aimed squarely at racing game fans carried out a bracket-style tournament vote on what the greatest video game car ever. There should be more of that within the commas there. And it was a closely contested battle. They just like leave out words. They do. I don't know, man. Vehicles from the likes of Wipeout HD, Flatout 2, Ridge Racer 7, Burnout, Crazy Raxy. I think this is supposed to be Crazy Taxi. Yo, Psych, what's up, dude? What is this stuff, dude? Are there no editors at any of these sites? What's going on, dude? Mario Kart DS, Halo, Rocket League, Sega Rally, and GTA 5, among others, were all in the running. In the end, the Hornet from Daytona, USA went up against the Pfizer from Wipeout HD on one side of the semifinal, while the Escudo Pikes Peak from Gran Turismo faced off against Castrol Tom Supra in the other semifinal. Gran Turismo's Escudo Pikes Peak won out against the Supra to reach the final, while the Hornet from Sega's Classic Daytona USA edged out Wipeout HD's Pfizer for the final head-to-head. Ultimately, the legendary Escudo Pikes Peak won out, racing ahead with the votes against the equally legendary Hornet from Daytona USA. Gran Turismo's super powerful Escudo won with 57.5% over Hornet's 42.5% of votes. Veteran Gran Turismo players will remember the four-wheel drive Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak version from 1999's Gran Turismo 2 on the PS1. Costing $2 million in-game credits, the Escudo earned a reputation for its blistering speed from its then jaw-dropping 981 bhp. Weighing in at a paltry 800 kilograms, it had a monster power-to-weight ratio and was known to obliterate entire fields, easily winning races due to its sheer speed. Maxed out at 255 miles per hour or 411 kilometers per hour. That's kmh, right? I'm such a pleb. The Hornet, meanwhile, is the iconic race car from the classic Daytona USA, a title which was seen often in games arcades. A Ford Mustang with a custom livery, the Hornet's visually striking colors and design became etched in a generation of racing games fans' minds. But many also pointed out that the car could literally kick ass, since the Hornet was also included as a secret, unlockable character in the 1996 Sega Saturn fighting game Fighters Mega Mix. It also appears the greatest video games car ever may be making a return to the Gran Turismo series, as an update has teased its addition to Gran Turismo 7, and you'll only have to pay $79.99 US for it, because you'll never be able to grind enough currency to get it. Because any way you find to grind currency in Gran Turismo 7, they'll just they'll throttle that with a patch. So no worries, guys. Don't worry. Okay. GG's. That's cool though. Lightyear gets reimagined as a PS1 game in new video. Lightyear has been reimagined as a PS1 game thanks to a new fan-made video. Lightyear is a new Toy Story spin-off centered around Buzz Lightyear. But it's not based on the toy voiced by Tim Allen. It's based on the movie that a young Andy saw that made him fall in love with Buzz Lightyear and inspired him to buy the figure seen in the Toy Story film. Essentially, Disney is releasing the movie that Andy saw as a little boy in the 90s. However, one fan took it upon themselves to up the immersion to another level. In the 90s, video game adaptations of movies, including the Toy Story films, were a major deal, yeah. Sadly, Disney didn't make a new Buzz Lightyear game for this film, but someone imagined that one would, what one would look like, excuse me. YouTuber Hulupy made a PS1 demake of the Lightyear trailer to celebrate the release of the new film. Aside from being an incredibly solid shot-for-shot recreation, there's fun little details such as the fact Buzz always has his purple head covering on. Even in scenes where he is wearing his civilian clothing in the film, the video also ends by telling viewers they can pick up the hypothetical game at Al's Toy Barn, a toy store within the Toy Story universe that was prominently featured in the second film. It even shows Rex looking at the game in the store. A likely callback to when Rex played a Buzz Lightyear video game at the start of Toy Story 2, yeah. Hulupy also noted that the video was mostly hand animated and is their first attempt at a demake for something that isn't related to a video game. You can find similar content to this over on Hulupy's Twitter and their Patreon page. We'll watch this in between the news segment and starting our gameplay. Okay. Lightyear is currently showing in theaters, and I'll throw it in chat real quick if you guys want to take a look first, but we'll watch it in just a moment. There you go. Lightyear is currently showing in theaters, and although it has been received well by critics, the film is struggling to perform well at the box office in its opening weekend. Whether audiences are burnt out on Toy Story or would just rather wait at home to see it on Disney Plus is unclear, but those who have seen it seem to be loving it. Comic Books Charlie Ridgely gave Lightyear a 5 out of 5 in his review and praised it for how it doesn't lean on its Toy Story roots too heavily and creates a solid original story. Cool. Aliens Dark Descent, release date, latest news, and leaks. The Alien franchise has spawned numerous video games recently, like Alien Isolation, which was amazing, and Alien Fireteam Elite, which have become iconic properties in the gaming industry. However, those titles could be dethroned by Alien's Dark Descent. Dark Descent was announced during Summer Games Fest. We saw, yep. Nobody expected this announcement from Tendelos Interactive or Focus Entertainment. We aren't surprised that stream viewers were excited at the prospect of Alien's Dark Descent, as it has the potential to compete with Diablo 4. Okay. Promised release date of 2023, but no specific release date within that year. Could be delays, as with anything that potentially has a release date that far out, right? Even any kind of game that has given us a specific release date that is like 3/4 to a year away or whatever, there is always going to be the potential for that game to get a delay, okay? Just, that's the way it is. Won't be on Switch at launch. We'll need additional time to convert the title over to the Switch. So the setting is going to be an outbreak of xenomorphs has plagued Moonlet, and we need to assist with the termination of this biogenetic plague by controlling an unsanctioned team of colonial marines. We are expected to construct an incredible squad of marines by intermixing various classes and abilities. In turn, combat mechanics will be improved, and the destruction of xenomorphs will become easier. Tendelos Interactive promises to introduce multiple enemies throughout Alien's Dark Descent. They've confirmed some of those enemies, including Mother Queens, Facehuggers, and Praetorians. It's expected that numerous variations of the xenomorph will appear in Dark Descent. We think the xenomorph chest burners, runner, and neomorph should make appearances. The devs have suggested that player choices will maintain lasting impacts on the gameplay environments as they forge a path to survival. Along the way, we will come across safe zones and meet exciting characters, with some possibly being from previous films. Either way, gameplay footage has been limited since the initial announcement for Dark Descent. We'll need to see more footage before everything is known. Coming to Xbox and PC. It will launch onto a multitude of consoles, including Xbox Series XS and PC, but not limited to the PS4 or PS5. Additional support for Xbox One, meaning nearly every gamer can acquire the Alien's Dark Descent title. Yeah, and Switch potentially later. Minimum system requirements. Looks like a 1050 Ti or 380X. Recommended with a 1070 or a Vega 50. Oh, yeah. This is going to be a fairly low required game. You can see like what some of the gameplay is. It's a top-down kind of strategic. It looks kind of XCOM-like, right? Neat. If you want to take a look, we've already seen the trailer because we watched the showcases and everything. But if you want to take a look, there you go. Elden Ring player makes He-Man with a character creator. We're going to read that one last. Sorry. Well, let's don't do Diablo Immortal stuff last. Let's end on a fun note. Well, let's end on He-Man. Diablo Immortal postponed in China just days before launch. The delay comes right after Blizzard's Weibo account was suspended. Diablo Immortal has reportedly been delayed in China just 3 days before launch. Writing for Reuters earlier today on June 20th, Hong Kong-based reporter Josh Yi writes that NetEase, the Chinese publisher of the game, has pulled the launch of Diablo Immortal throughout China. The game was apparently meant to launch yesterday on June 19th, but the launch was actually pulled by Blizzard back on Thursday, June 16th, just 3 days before released on PC and mobile platforms. Apparently it comes hot on the heels of Diablo Immortal's Weibo social media account being banned from making new posts on the Chinese social media website. Neither Blizzard nor NetEase has commented on the suspension of the account or revealed why it was banned in the first place. NetEase claims that Diablo Immortal was delayed to make gameplay adjustments and improvements such as, quote, multiple optimization adjustments. NetEase shares actually fell more than 9% earlier today on Monday, June 20th, and it's not hard to imagine this as a fallout of the last-minute delay to Diablo Immortal in China. Diablo Immortal first launched in multiple regions throughout the world earlier this month on June 2nd. Yeah, it surpassed 10 million downloads in just a few days after launch, making it the single biggest game launch in the Diablo franchise, despite facing intense criticism from players over its use of microtransactions. In fact, the game never even launched in Belgium and the Netherlands due to legislation against loot boxes and microtransactions. There you go. We'll see how that progresses. I would like it to never see a release in China or anywhere else for that matter, but we'll see how it goes. All right, here we go. Okay, so last news article that I have found for the morning. If anybody else has anything they would like to add to the news segment before we finish for the day, please let me know in chat while I kind of finish up this this final article, okay? Elden Ring player makes He-Man with character creator. This is awesome. I said from like halfway through our Elden Ring playthrough, if I ever went back and played Elden Ring, I would create Trevor Belmont. That's who I would be creating. Because they've got whips and stuff in the game, and it would just be a really cool thing to do. Creating Trevor Belmont, I think. But they would need to significantly improve the PC version of the game before I ever went back and played it. But this is really cool, man. One humorous Elden Ring player uses the expansive in-game character creation system to recreate the legendary barbarian He-Man. Since it hit store shelves earlier this year on February 25th, Elden Ring has remained one of the most popular releases in the contemporary gaming sphere among both critics and players alike. It seems gamers just cannot get enough of its vast yet detailed open world, sprawling narrative, and challenging boss fights. However, while these gameplay aspects prove to be the main appeals of the game for most players, there is a large portion of the Elden Ring community that adores the character creator system. Now one fan has reinforced this notion of the community as they recreated the titular hero from He-Man. For the uninitiated, Elden Ring is the latest IP by accomplished developers from Software, serving as a spiritual successor of sorts to its previous titles. It proved to be one of the most hotly anticipated games for 2022, directed by Hidetaka Miyazaki in collaboration with prestigious author George R.R. Martin. Elden Ring scored universal acclaim from critics through near-perfect review scores, and is From Software's all-time best-selling video game. With such an impact on the gaming industry, it should come as no surprise that many players are still exploring everything the game offers. Dude, I can't wait to see this. Speaking of which, one area specifically that players have experimented with since the game's debut is the expansive Elden Ring character creation system. Pushing said customization system to its absolute limits, fans have brilliantly recreated many pop culture icons from other video games, such as Solid Snake from Metal Gear series, God of War's very own Kratos, and even Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, the iconic fictional superhero He-Man is the latest fan recreation that has made waves within the Elden Ring community. We ready for this? Nice! Not only is the character topless and shredded, but Warrior 1991 managed to recreate He-Man's legendary shaggy blonde bob haircut. Likewise, even the hero's signature blue eyes and audacious stare are comically present. In summary, although some time has passed since Elden Ring was released, the game still proves to have a fun and dedicated community that is pushing the limits by bringing some of the most outlandish pop culture icons to the game. New creations cropping up every day on sites such as Reddit and Twitter. The community will likely not grow tired of creating characters anytime soon. That's really funny. That's funny, man. Good old He-Man. Cool, man. That's all I've got. That's all I've got for news today. Lots of good talk. there are a lot of trending topics for us in the in the gaming industry right now. There are things we continue to talk about on a daily basis, and it's appropriate. There are some very concerning things for many of us as gamers, and I appreciate everybody's input, and we'll continue to address these things, and I try to put a little bit of time in between them, but it's inevitable that they keep kind of cropping up, and we talk about them, and it's appropriate. It just is. So if some of it seems repetitive, I do apologize, but to an extent, there's a good amount of content regarding the gaming industry, video gaming industry, and that is trending and concerning, and it's appropriate for us to continue to discuss and really flesh out these kinds of ideas and topics that keep kind of cropping up here in our segments. So on that note, that'll be it for the gaming news. We're gonna move on over to our day one of Planescape Torment playthrough, which I'm very excited about. What I will say is that if you are not viewing this live, if you're viewing this as a YouTube VOD and you're enjoying the content, then see what you can do about coming and hanging out with us at 6 o'clock a.m. CST every single day, where we start every stream off with our video gaming news segment. Okay, if you are enjoying the content, then please do me a favor and consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Maybe leave me a comment so we can have a bit of a discussion regarding some of these topics that we went over in the segment today. Okay, other than that, just stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and we will catch everybody tomorrow for June 21st edition of Video Gaming News. All right.